Happy Easter, everybody. How'd everybody's Easter go, by the way? No.
Well, it went. It's good.
We got an we had a good. Kelly, explain your
My probably woke up, did laundry, and then I had to go to work for a work meeting on freaking Easter. Like, what kind of job does that? But that's probably why I'm slightly perturbed.
Genuinely, just kill your boss. Stab them in the throat. The police will understand.
I didn't say this, by the way.
Why are we starting off with murder?
It's Easter.
We just started.
Just start at the bottom and you just go up from there.
You come back to life on Easter, not die.
Well, give them a few days.
Oh.
Thank you. But anyhow, we'll go ahead and our recaps for the week will be a lot shorter this week because now we're already into most of the shows have aired. There's not a lot new to review. There's just some episodes aired. We'll make that short, and then we'll get right into our top 10 lists. But real quick, Spy X Family had the dub air finally. So I actually did not watch episode 2, Mason. I don't mean to disappoint you. But Mackenzie and I decided to jump into the dub instead. So I rewatched episode 1 in English this week with Mackenzie. And just as I predicted, she found the little daughter girl immediately adorable and loved the show.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've got a real winner there.
Yeah, like the dub overall was really good. My only issue, kind of a nitpick though, is that Lloyd, his actor, I like his actor, but he wasn't the best choice, I think. He didn't his delivery for everything wasn't quite as good as the sub, which but compared to Anya was spot on. Anya was pretty much perfect.
I did find that Lloyd's English actor definitely wasn't as like deadpan and emotionless, which is what made the subtitled one funny. But I'm hoping they, I'm hoping that'll be minor and we get over it as we're going forward. Good week though. Love Live, the dub aired, so I finally got into some new Love Live season, baby. Everybody else, right? Everyone else is watching the new Love Live.
Yeah, everyone's watching it. Yeah.
I need a cricket soundboard.
Yeah, we do need a soundboard to play whenever he says crazy stuff like that.
You guys are hurting my feelings. Love Live is the empress of all idol anime, all right? The greatest genre of all, I think most people will agree. But we have to move on before anyone else can defend.
Before we get somebody to poll that and figure out if that's actually truthful.
We can go ahead and not do that, too, if we're feeling like it. There was a new Love is War episode as well. Science Fell in Love, all the usuals. New Skeleton Night. I'm sure Mason was having a ball. We did have one new show this week, though, finally aired. And I've been excited about this. We finally got the Grizz into he's a seasonal weeb now. He's watching the seasonal shows. And we found out before this went up, he did watch episode 1 of Summertime Render, which I'm gonna be honest, I also watched and was a little bit surprised by how good I thought episode 1 was. But, Kelly, what were your thoughts?
First of all, I want to, say how dare you to everyone who doubted me. Second of all, I thought it was fine. I'm not going to give it like a glowing endorsement like you did. I felt like I had like some tonal issues where it didn't know if it wanted to be serious or not. Like
it did do that.
Go through like moments of being very intensely serious, and then all of a sudden you would see him like playing his face in some chick's boobs. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess we're trying to cut the tension. But
it's like it suddenly remembered it was an anime.
Yeah, but like when it was serious, I was bought in, and of course, like non-spoiler related, like it does some pretty substantial things happen in the episode. So if I were to grade it, I'd probably give it like a B-, only because of like the tonal issues were just kind of took me out of show whenever they would happen, but like when it was serious, it was a good show.
Yeah, I would say that if I were to give episode 1 a grade right now, it'd probably be like a 7 out of 10. There were some moments that genuinely shocked me to the point where my mouth actually did hang open for a second. And that's always fun for me when a show can actually cause a physical reaction while watching it. However, the finish of the episode, without spoilers, immediately just made me go, wait a minute, I've seen this before. This is just Higurashi mixed with ReZero. What the hell?
Sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, Omar, you should know, shouldn't you?
Now, the part that I found mostly funny, though, is that if you watch it legally, if you pay cash money to watch these episodes,
Disney Plus.
the only way to do so is on Disney Plus, which is...
By the way,
I don't
as
think
far
it's out
as
yet.
I'm... What, Chris?
I don't even think it's out on Disney Plus yet.
It's not.
Even.
It's
I
not.
couldn't find
checked,
it.
and it's not on there.
They're waiting for the rest of the season there.
The hell, we wanted a Disney sponsor. Why did you do that, Harry?
These people are absolute robbers. I tried doing it legally. I'm like, well, I'll watch it there. Maybe it's in like HD, actual good quality, unlike Kiss Anime. Go on there. I'm like, summer space time, nothing. It's barren.
Yeah.
Mouse is gonna kill us.
I guess we all just ratted ourselves out, huh? We're all filthy pirates.
I
You-
tried.
I don't watch it
It
yet.
wouldn't let me.
I don't like
Waiting.
Well, at least
It's good,
Omar
though.
and CBC are being legal. I don't know if they're even going to watch it, but at least as of now, they didn't break the law with us that they've admitted to.
I just
yet.
want Mickey Mouse. I just want Mickey Mouse to respect me. That's it.
Mickey Mouse
I don't
will
mind
never
suppressed
respect
parties.
you. You should just come to terms with this.
You shouldn't seek admiration from a rat.
He's a special rat. He's magical.
Magic.
Didn't
Yeah,
Disney's
never-
The Great Mouse Detective teach you guys nothing? That mice and rats are very offended when you confuse them for one another? Or am I the only one here that ever watched that movie?
I didn't know that existed.
No, The Great Mouse
I didn't
Detective.
either. I think that's literally a you thing. So I've never heard
Oh,
of that.
come on. It was a classic Disney film from the late 80s with Basil the Mouse, who's based on
probably
Sherlock
We
Holmes.
get it. You're old. Okay.
That's probably why, because I don't think anyone watched 80s Disney.
None
But
of
the
you
90s, everyone can recite all those. 80s is a dark time.
None of you watched The Little Mermaid as a kid. You're going to look me dead in my face and tell me that.
Okay, hold on. That was like 1989. It was like literally.
That's the
Like
80s.
the first time.
Great Mouse
Barely,
Detective
though. It
was like 88.
86.
Well, then they
God damn
upgraded quite a bit in a year.
They upgraded. You haven't even seen the film. How do you know if it's bad or not? All right.
Because the
I'm calm.
marketing
I
was
think I've
there
seen it.
for it.
I've
Seen it
calmed
before.
myself. What about The Jungle Book? Huh? That came out in like the 60s. I know at least some of you watched The Jungle Book.
I have. And
Guess
it is
what?
a
That's on
classic.
the 80s.
Oh, I hate you guys so much.
I only watched the new show.
I only watch anything that came out after Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
I like that show, to be honest.
Alrighty, so
Original.
That's like my-
67.
We-
Wow.
we're looking forward to next week's slate of new stuff, but we'll jump right in. This week's obviously not going to be on the usual path. We're going to do a little top 10. And no, I promise it's not just a view grab play, because I know top 10 plays well with algorithms on like every site, but that's not what we're about, right, guys?
Chino. It's Chino's first top 10. All right, let's go, baby.
I know. I'm about it. I'm about all the clicks and plays. Make me
What's your
famous.
top 10 and water temperatures at?
Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead, take it away.
Mike is yours.
Turn the sync on. Please?
No
I'll
one
beg.
can get that joke.
No one that
Listen.
listens to that. That one was just for us.
Family Guy. He said Family Guy. I heard him.
It's Chino's in here, everyone, just so you know.
He said Family
SAT.
Guy, guys.
SAT.
He's
Uh,
always in here listening in, but he just never wants to say nothing.
So the way I figure we'll,
Futurama?
Sweet.
we'll do this is I'll go around in a circle. Basically, we'll all start at 10, then everyone's going to give their 10. We can all make fun of each other for it. Then we'll go down to 9, so on, so forth. While you're giving your 10, if you have a couple of honorable mentions, shout them out before you say your 10. We won't go into detail about the honorable mentions, but I guess I'll go ahead and start us off with some honorable mentions. This was hard to pick my number 10. My top 10 anime shows I've ever seen. Honorable mentions. I like Dr. Stone, all right? Mason gives it shit. It's good. It's a good
And
show.
number 10?
No, that's
Or
my
no,
honorable
I have
mention.
to agree with him, though.
I also had
All
One
right.
Punch Man as an honorable mention, Konosuba as an honorable mention, and little known little slice of life comedy show that I really enjoyed from back in the day. I think I watched it when I was in college. It was called Working, with 2 exclamation points at the end. That show was great.
Sucks.
That show was great. Anyway,
We were watching the first episode. I turned it right off, man. I was like, damn.
this is just the honorable mentions. I can't go into detail. Number 10, I have Overlord. I presume most of you have at least heard of it, if not seen it.
I've heard of it.
Respect it. Respect it.
All right,
Okay.
I know. Ponce is a big Overlord fan, so he could at least get into this with me if he were in here, but he never is. Ugh, that dude and his scholastic needs. How dare he put his own academic success over Weebchat podcast? Can you believe him?
I
The nerve
can.
of this man.
I believe him. I understand him. He's a good guy.
CBC is a trusting individual. Anyhow, yeah, Overlord is my number 10. I struggled with which of the 5 to put in there. I went with Overlord just because I got really, really into it the very first time I watched. Now, for rewatchability, I think One Punch Man or Konosuba would have made it. But for that first time I saw it, I was like I did that thing where I was doing math in my head before bed, where I was like, all right, well, how much sleep can I get if I just watch one more episode? You know what? Can I function at work tomorrow on 4.5 hours of sleep? Probably. I think I can watch another episode. To me, that tells me that that's the mark of a good quality show. We'll go right to how about Mason? Mason, what do you have as a 10 or an honorable mention?
All right, I had 2 mentions, and first one being Steins Gate, of course.
Woo!
I don't feel that I have to go in depth on that. It's Steins Gate. Omar's probably mad at me for not putting that in my top 10, though.
I understand.
And then the other one is Soul Eater. I really like Soul Eater. People shit on the anime, though. But for the entire bit of it that followed the manga, it's like I put it at a 9. It would probably be in my top 5 if it followed the manga all the way through. But after it stops doing that, it just goes downhill in like a 4. So overall, it's like a 7 maybe.
Well, now I can't
So yeah,
wait
that's
to
why
see.
it's not in top 10.
Don't give me a spoiler. I'll wait through your whole top 10 before I know. But now I can't wait to see if Fire Force is on your list.
Oh, goody. But yeah, at number 10 for me, I put Odd Taxi, one that pretty much only I have seen here, and I will praise it to the ends of this very earth.
Do so then.
That's
love
an odd choice.
Haha, oh, look at you. But yeah, it was one of them. I think it was either last season or the season before that. I've rewatched it recently, but it was just one of those shows that came out of nowhere. It seemed interesting because the whole animal thing, and me being a closeted Beastars fan, I was like, yes, I'm into it. This is what I like to see. Plus, it's a fat walrus with a hat with a fish on it,
Closeted
solving this
furry.
mysterious case.
I love the term
great.
closeted Beastars fan.
Hey,
Oh.
no, man, Ponce is like a Ponce
Ponce
like
goes
a
to
proud
the
one.
Ponce goes to the Beastar Pride Parade in downtown Chicago every year. All right,
But
Omar.
yeah, that's my 10.
What do you got at 10?
Let's see. I guess for honorable mentions, we'll go first. Cowboy Bebop. Yep. I guess we'll go
Respect.
ReZero.
Okay.
ReZero. That's another one.
Dang. Honorable mention. All right.
I got another one. Mob. I put Mob. That's a tough one. That's
Oh,
honorable
yeah.
mentions.
Dude, your 10 better be good.
No, it's gonna piss people off. Number 10 is Erased.
Yes! Oh, I almost put
Erased.
Erased in
Oh,
mine, too.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Did you ever see
I
the
don't know if
live-action one, Omar?
No, I have not. No.
Oh, it's actually
Is it?
somehow pretty decent. I'll give it
I'm gonna
that.
check it out.
You got.
He won't.
Did I ever tell you guys? I think I have in the chat, but I'll tell the story real quick. I'll give the shortened version. But basically, my parents, we have a bit of a joking, mock each other all the time type of relationship. That's kind of just how we do it. They give me crap for being an anime fan whenever I bring it up, and I tricked them. I got them both. I told them a recommendation one day. I'm like, you know what? You should check out that new Erased show on Netflix. And I showed them the live action version. I'm like, yeah, you can watch it. They've got an English version. It's one of those Japanese dramas, but it's like a crime thriller. It's so good. They watched the whole thing. Little did they know. Got him.
Sorry,
Aaron just straight up lied to his parents, and then they threw him into Wyoming.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Banished. Wyoming.
But Omar, why is that your 10 though? Will you please elaborate?
Or
That's
don't.
just good.
Keep them thinking.
I don't know, it's just a fun story. We got right into it. I can't say what happens without
I like
spoiling
that
it.
one scene where he's like daydreaming that they were dancing in class.
I will say one thing. It's kind of funny because like the mom has like no lips. If you ever seen it, she has like no lips at all. It's something I remember about this show. Why doesn't she have lips?
Now I gotta
That's
ask.
Omar's main look.
Well, I'm thinking different.
I can't help myself. I have to know. Why did Erased make the top 10 over ReZero?
I don't know. It was short and got quick to it. I don't know. There's something about
Yeah,
it.
you don't
I
like
don't know,
Omar's
like-
in-depth analysis is really going at it.
I like it. It's simple. It's to the point. That's all that matters.
Why'd that make your list, Omar? I liked it.
What is that witch? What is that witch
It was
from
good.
ReZero? Omar, you liked it. Or he gave her a fluid to his tea.
Oh yeah, Echidna.
What?
You didn't even
Oh, yeah, I can-
even put that in there for top 10 for at least for that. Come on, man. You're into that?
No. I just like the story better. ReZero was just like
All right, well
I kind of
Omar,
don't like.
Omar's upset me. He didn't have ReZero in his top 10 like I was expecting. Now I'm gonna cry. So we might as well move right on along to CBC. You've got something that's surely going to be much less depressing, right?
I'll give you a little spoiler. ReZero is in my top 10.
Yes.
But we're not gonna get to it for a while. For my honorable mentions, I have Tower of God, Chinubio,
Ooh.
of course, I love that, Chinubio. Terror and Resonance, it's a good little short anime. If it was longer, maybe it might make it,
Mhm.
Mob Psycho 100. For
Ah,
my number
Mob.
10, I put Initial D. A little racing.
Oh, okay.
I love
Okay.
that, love
You like cars? You like cars?
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
No, I don't like cars actually. So
Poor
that's
old
making
Mob
top
getting
10 kind of
shafted.
crazy. I would have put Mob at 10, but I was really thinking I was going back and forth with it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
eventually-
It's tough.
I finished with
I love
Initial
Mob.
D there instead.
Damn.
I was about to make on the fly right now. I was going to change it. I was thinking, honestly.
What you like about Initial D that made it a top 10? Did you just like the simple fun as well?
It was nice.
The
Simple fun, yeah, the simple fun.
See,
I like how it was like, I don't know, they were just, the main character, he was kind of goated. That's always great. You see him fucking dominate. Sorry. And he's just,
Come on,
you
that
get the
costs money,
bitches.
CBC.
oh, and then they had a little love story on the side. Heartbreaking. Oh, it was terrible. I didn't like seeing that at all.
Now, I get the feeling that this might be a bit of a nostalgia run when we go to Grizz, too. Because I can't help but feel like he's a bit of a newer weeb, but he definitely was a weeb as a kid. how many like childhood oh yeah are going to be on his list.
I mean, I got a few
Well,
on my list too.
to be honest, since you're hitting me now with all that, it's going to be relevant real quick. But I guess my honorable mention I'll start with. It barely didn't make the list, but Your Name, great movie, of course.
Oh,
Like
no
that
movies.
barely
No-
didn't make it.
No movies,
reason why it
Kelly.
didn't
That's the
is-
rules.
No movie. I think you just said that they didn't just do a movie before this. Okay, well, besides that, I don't have any honorable mentions. That just strike me away. But to get back at what you were saying, if we're going off of just like straight up nostalgia, I put Dragon Ball Z on there, even though I wanted to find other stuff to put on there. I just couldn't think of anything like really that made it.
Right.
It made it based because it was like the first anime show I ever got into, so it has a special place for me. But beyond that is what it is. I still like the soundtrack kicks ass. The show was good. Like it got me into anime for what it was, and that's pretty much my number 10. So you won't see anything else Dragon Ball from
Just
me.
for
That's
soundtrack?
already it.
You're gonna see some more Dragon Ball.
Oh, not
On
for
our
me.
list.
Yeah, you're gonna see some more.
Especially since the soundtrack for the rest of the shows are just super lackluster.
It's not true at all.
Trash talking our shows.
Grizz is a hard man to please.
Oh, but the Bruce Faulkner tracks are just great, and like they have like this really bad orchestral score stuff. Like it sounds like it's from like 1933. I can't get with it.
Dragon Ball is like one of the best soundtracks in like every damn series they have. It's crazy.
Grizz exists only to
I
bitch
think-
slap Omar and his feelings.
I don't mean to. It's just I'm trying to help him wean him off of Dragon Ball.
More catches strays, man. He ain't even
Trying to
doing
get you to mature, Omar, in your tastes, if you will.
anything. Yo, Mark, grow up.
It's
Grow
gonna
up.
get eaten by wild meats one day. You better watch out.
I always got to give Dragon Ball Z this, though. No matter how many anime I have seen since, Perfect Cell remains to this day my favorite anime villain of all time. In any show.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Ah, okay.
I really
Alright.
liked Perfect Cell as a kid. Now,
I respect it.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and maybe a rewatch would change my mind, but the amount of, ooh, he's awesome, that I felt watching Dragon Ball Z the first time when Cell showed up is far more than for any other villain I have seen watching any show for the first time. That might be a confusing
Cell
way to
is
word
just like Cell is just beating Gohan's ass. Omar's crying, and then Aaron's just cheering on.
it. Kill him more!
Did you like his glow up? He was a little ugly bug before, you know?
I heard he might make a reappearance in this new movie that's coming out. I might have to go see it.
Version 1 Cell,
they're really
when like he was like
ideas
scary,
now.
that was awesome.
That's good.
I love
That's
that.
Good introduction to him, you know?
That was I think I really enjoyed the cocky badassery of Perfect Cell once he got all the way glowed up and he just started whipping all the Z Fighters asses who, did the usual, go at him one at a time. A genius plan that always works.
They
It's a
have honor.
tournament. Come on, man.
They have
It
honor.
was perfect.
They can't just break the tournament rules.
Oh, that's true. My bad. I forgot it was an official tournament. Cell did set that up. That is my bad. I will
Goku
go
would
ahead.
gladly watch his kid die and just like lick his lips, go, this guy's strong.
Due to time constraints, we do have to move forward, unfortunately. But I will give credit for Dragon. It's not anywhere on my list. It's not in my honorable mentions. It's too much nostalgia. Like that would be relying way too heavily on the nostalgia. But yeah, I will props for Dragon Ball Z on the top 10. Kelly, I'll give it to you. We'll go down to number 9. I have a little show that Ponce told me about back in the day that I wasn't sure what to think about it at first, and it is easily tied with one other show that we'll get to later as the funniest anime on just pure. I had to like pause the show several times to belly laugh. Asobi Asabase. If any of you guys have seen that show,
I've seen that. I like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
It's funny.
that shit had me cackling every episode. Like not like in my own head either. Like, huh, that's pretty funny. Like, I mean, like exhausting myself from the amount of air I was losing laughing.
Neighbors calling in saying, "Please stop."
No more of that show, please. The scene with they're playing the punishment game, and we get to the part where one of the girls has to get her ass slapped as punishment, and it just turned like her ass turns into a machine gun after the other girl slaps it.
It's
Ah,
a classic.
my ass is destroyed. As the principal's walking by the door outside, and he stops, and he's like, "What the hell?" Or the one where they have a pool in the classroom, and the water leaks out, and again the principal walks by, and he asks him what's up, and one of the girls says, I accidentally peed myself. And the next thing you hear is from the other door, "I just tasted it, and it's not pee. What's actually going on in there?" Come on, that's just great stuff. And of course, they do the same type of comedy that this show later does, of the just having the characters do absurd facial expressions that are just over the top at random moments. That just, I don't know why that makes me laugh as much as it does. It just does. But I'll give up my time now. It's on to Mason. What do you got at number 9?
Number 9, you mentioned it in your honorable mentions, but for me, One Punch Man is number 9. I know it kind of dropped off a little bit for season 2, which wasn't its fault, but season 1, I have rewatched that countless times. It's just the premise, while not entirely unique, was just done brilliantly, and every character was just really interesting, and their character designs, they just went as wacky as possible, and I appreciate that because that takes guts, and that's something that I think I can get behind. But yeah, like Saitama, he was great. Every fight was at least pretty good, if not just flat out hilarious.
Well, that last
by
fight.
how.
I mean, yeah, like that last fight with what was the dude's name? Boros?
Yeah.
The one-eyed dude?
Yeah,
Is that-
they're like flinging around the place, and then like he ends up saying, "You were taking it easy on me."
Saitama moonwalks away from the battle halfway. Is that? Let's get a quick poll of the 5 of us. Is that the best use of the cliche of playing the opening to an anime for the final fight in anime history? Because it's my favorite. But
Since I can't recall many others off the top of my head, but I can recall that one like every single time, I would have to agree with you.
oh, it's spectacular, and of course it doesn't.
It's awesome.
Doesn't hurt that the theme
You
song
hear
fucking
it, like-
slaps.
It like creeps up in like the back of your ears, and like you just get more and more pumped as it gets louder. It's awesome.
And for those of you that are dubbed supremacists out there, the way that I am, and the Grizz even more so than me, my wife the most of all of us, but dubbed supremacists, the One Punch Man, particularly season 1, the English dub is very good.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really good.
It's, I would argue, potentially the definitive way to watch One Punch Man, but you know,
As an English speaker, I would probably say yeah, because it's really good.
not much more to say. It's One Punch Man.
Don't you?
Everyone loves
don't
One
you,
Punch Man.
Me?
Well, my bad. Didn't realize it was disrespectful. God damn it, you're right, it is. All right, well, we'll move on to Omar. I'm done disrespecting Mason, I guess, for no reason, since we agree that show is great. Omar, number 9.
Number 9 for me would have to be Death Note. And that's just because I just really like Light Yagami and L. They're like,
Good.
You are light. You got me.
yeah, I am Light Yagami.
You know, you had erased last time. You had Cowboy Bebop as an honorable mention, so maybe this will just be the thing every time you name an anime. But I'm going to ask again. Did you watch the live-action version?
No, I will never do that, by the way. I will never watch this.
Now, the erased live-action was actually really good. I have not seen the Death Note live-action, but I am told it is a heaping jar of booty juice. Is there anyone here that can confirm?
for him and myself. But anyways, what I liked about Death Note the most was like, because like Light was an asshole. You know, he was just an innocent kid at the start, but he just started turning like into a fucking asshole to those people.
He's a great
Like,
guy,
he
man.
would just, no, you ever seen the? Have you all seen it? Like,
Yeah.
you've seen it, right?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
you know that thing with Naomi, where he's like, oh, my dad, this will be available now. Do you want to call him? And she like already under his like influence. It's like, no, never mind. He just like tells her to fuck off. Basically, it's like, I'm Kira. It's a badass scene.
He's so real.
It's a real. I like L too. You know.
I love how
Yeah.
Omar's specific reason for liking the show was that the main character was an asshole. Is that just like something you find relatable, or?
You'll see what type of characters are like down the list, but yeah, one of the main reasons. He was a
It's
beast. Okay,
relatable.
he's a
He's a
genius. He's a genius and asshole.
Well,
There's
alrighty.
more. There's
Respect.
like
Omar, keeping it nice and simple for us. You got to respect it. Christian, what do you got at number 9?
For number 9, I went a little bit, with nostalgia. Yeah, put Yu-Gi-Oh on the list,
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
That
nice.
might be the best choice so far.
I can't wait until someone on here has Pokemon at one of their spots.
I thought about it, but I felt like Yu-Gi-Oh was better overall.
I was
Yeah.
definitely
So
Team Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid because that was a legitimate debate among me and the cul-de-sac children back home in Yorkville. There were the Pokemon kids and the Yu-Gi-Oh kids. And then there was like that one kid eating glue in the corner that like his eyes were two different
Dual Masters
colors.
or
And,
whatever.
yeah, and he was a Digimon fan. But
Oh, dude, I like Digimon. The old
And-
dude's Digimon movie. Oh, that's a good one.
anyhow, CBC, tell us about Yu-Gi-Oh. Tell us about your fondness for the heart of the cards.
Going off what you said there, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. I actually am more of a Pokemon fan, but for the animes, Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely way better overall. So that's why it's, number 9. I feel like the original Duel Monsters, the little stuff spiel that they had going, it was a good little enter to it, and then they had like actual rules set. They had all that. They had to run through the city, dueling people. It's real nice. It was good stuff, And then they got onto a blimp and they were dueling. Like, who doesn't love that?
Fucking bloom.
It's a good show overall,
Truly.
Probably
That's a
better
great
to watch
abridged
it
series on
subtitle.
YouTube.
Probably better to watch it subtitled
The
because
best
of that
Grizz
fact.
series.
Dub, This is
I don't know, man. Joey's dub voice is pretty great.
yeah.
If you like Brooklyn accents, that is.
Which I do.
Good old 4Kids decided that having one of the main characters be a juvenile delinquent was going to be bad press. So they're like, well, what other reason could we make up for why he wears tracksuits and has blonde hair?
Oh no,
He's
he
from
killed my
the-
elder dragon.
Bronx. Yes, genius. Put it in.
Hey, he's a great guy, man. He paid for his sister's eyesight surgery.
Oh,
And he
glorious.
only did that because he forced his way into top 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a good duelist. He was just out there just forcing
He
it.
had a fusion card in his deck, but neither of the two monsters that are used to make that fusion monster.
He's a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck, all right? We can all agree on this.
He was. He really was.
He might not be the main character, but he does have main character bullshit though.
Hey, Taya was undefeated. No one talks about that enough. Look it up. She has literally never lost on screen at any point through the entire run of the show.
Because she's
Hold on.
trash. You can't
Yeah,
show
she
her.
never fought anybody worth anything. You can-
She had a bunch of low scum attack level fairies, man. It's nuts.
This is just supposed to be a wild fact. I didn't expect it to be met with such an emotional response. Kelly,
You
More
can
of
know
a Tristan
better.
guy.
What do you got at number 9 for us? Is it also Yu-Gi-Oh?
All right, what I got from number 9, I wish it was Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh can be my belated honorable mention. But from what I have right here is, I went last time was the show that the first anime show I got. This is the show I guess that got me back into anime for what it is. I put My Hero Academia in it. Good show, definitely is one that you can binge and be cool with that forever. Like the acting's great, the voice acting, the music's great, the plot's really engaging. Like I thought it was a fun show. Like.
See, and I got made fun of for this opinion before when I said it is to this current generation what Dragon Ball Z was to our generation growing up, in that it basically fills the same niche role of the top mainstream shonen currently airing, whose main contribution to its storytelling is, all right, here's a couple of reasons why you should like these guys. Here's a couple of reasons why the bad guys are bad. We're not going to get too crazy with it. Anyhow, here's some hype animation with great music behind it. They're going to fight, and you're just going to think it's cool. Go.
I still spit on you for everything that you just said.
Oh, come on. It's a
Name me
simple
one
formula, but it
character on
works.
there that is on level of any Dragon Ball character. Any. Do not say Deku. I will punch you. I will hang you from the Raptors.
Deku's kind of like a more crybaby Gohan, kind of in a way.
He kind of
Deku is worse.
Like, he's probably nobody's favorite. It's like one of the shows where the main character is nobody's favorite character. That's for sure.
He's also kind of like more of a crybaby Naruto as well.
Every episode he has to do a speech about friendship and I am
being
going
a hero.
To be all right.
Yeah,
I'm all for all.
Definitely dropped my like of Deku several spots with each season that passed, but I maintain that season 1 and 2 were spectacularly good, and Deku was still very likable at the time when he was still a legitimate underdog, in the sense that he wasn't a bullshit anime underdog that won constantly but kept preaching being an underdog. No, he actually got his shit rocked in almost every fight, but kept coming back for more.
During that phase of his power, where he would injure himself very easily doing a punch. Now that was actually kind of rad, but then once he figured out a way to fix that then it was okay, now you're less fun.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
so
that was
before there's consequences from him tapping into this unlimited power, and now he's just well, I can just do whatever I want now with my feet too.
But
Get him.
That being said, as an adamant hater of My Hero Academia, do either of you two keep up with it still?
Yeah.
Not really.
Did you
I'm
see
caught
that late
I'm caught up with the English dub of the anime. I've decided not to watch sub and see it any further if there is, but I'm caught up with the English dub.
Did you watch the latest fight, Aaron?
Yeah.
Did you see that hype animation?
I did.
That was as an adamant hater, that was one of the greatest things I have ever seen.
You're talking about from the movie, right? The third movie?
Yeah.
I
loved it. That was fantastic.
Grizz, Kyler, and I actually saw that in theaters during our trip to Pittsburgh to watch the Bears disappoint us on Monday Night Football.
Oh, how fun.
We don't talk about that.
And you know what? While I've got Mason already shitting down my throat, that'll segue me very nicely into my number 8 pick, which won't be controversial. I'm sorry?
Wait. Yeah. I didn't think everyone finished.
Oh, no, that was Kelly. He was the last guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll go right to number 8. The totally uncontroversial, universally beloved...
How could you put this on your list? I can't believe you.
Number 8 is Demon Slayer for me. Mason, opinions, positive ones.
Which number is this?
8.
8's fine. 8's fine, yeah.
Oh, that was
yeah.
That was less dramatic than I
hate
was thinking.
This show. I just hate watching something so simple that's just carried by elite animation and 9 out of 10, perfect anime. And I'm like, no.
Okay, but to be fair, did you read the manga at all?
I did.
Okay, because the final fight for the manga...
Not with you and Omar wouldn't shut up.
Top 10 anime, not manga.
If they...
talk about it that much. That was good.
If they I'm sure they will, because it's, mainstream phenomenon at this point. But when they get to that final fight from that manga and they animate it with Ufotable funding behind it, oh, it's going to be so great. Oh, it's going to be so great. I like Demon Slayer. I know I just kind of covered this with the My Hero thing, but I am a fan. Now, I watch pro wrestling, too, from time to time. So you can tell that part of the me that wants to be entertained by stuff is perfectly content being entertained by the very simple formula of, I like complex plots if that's what I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I'm in the mood for exactly what Demon Slayer is. See that? That's a demon. It eats people. Right? We're all cool? Cool. These guys are people. They're demon slayers. They kill the demons. All right, go. And then it's just cool fights from there. And that's all I need. It's pro wrestling logic. This is Hulk Hogan. He's the good guy. That's the Iron Sheik. He hates America.
He ain't a good guy no more.
And then they just fight. And you're like, all right, that's all I needed. I just needed a little bit of story to get me invested and then just make them fight. And that's Demon Slayer. It's very basic. Yeah. It is simple. But it's done well. It's simplicity, but it focuses on the few things that it's doing to the point where they try to perfect the very few things that they do with their story. And you go, all right, you know what? It's simple. It's to the point. I like it. That's why I like Demon Slayer.
All right, yeah. I can see that.
So we'll go right on to Mason. Mason, what do you got at 8?
Number 8 for me, I just wrapped them all into one because I didn't care about separating them. But JoJo, I really enjoy JoJo. The parts kind of fluctuate in terms of good, bad. None are bad, but some are definitely way less good than others. With Steel Ball Run being easily the best out of all of them. But overall, the series, everyone knows JoJo, either by a meme or like by actually watching it. It's just like this really, it's hard to even describe it because it's just this eccentric, very artistic, flamboyant even.
It from what I've seen of it, it seems like the type of show that that Macho Mantis would somehow fit into as a character. And for that, I can already tell that if we redo these lists, once I get to JoJo's on my watch list, I might have a new list at that point. But as of right now, I haven't seen it yet. But it looks like something I would enjoy.
Heard, Aaron, I have also heard that when you watch that, like, you can only exclusively watch that in sub. Like, if you watch that in dub, you're doing yourself a disservice.
The dub is ruined. I haven't watched the dub for the other parts, but I know for part 1, because the entire setting is based in England, and a Japanese person cannot do a fake British accent, but an English actor sure can, and it's terrible.
Oh, God.
Because everyone's doing a British accent, and it's like, stop it now.
This is why I'm
Cease
torn.
yourself.
Because part of me would kind of like to watch it for the first time, like with Mackenzie, and just go, all right, neither of us know what we're getting into, but I'm told it's weird. Go. And just kind of get that. But she won't watch it subtitled. So I'm kind of torn. Do I want to watch it in the better version, or do I want that experience of watching it with another person and both being equally, entertained / weirded out simultaneously by this strange show? We'll see what I decide on once I get to it.
You can still enjoy it.
Probably watch subtitle first. It's a little slow to start. But, you gotta.
Oh yeah. Part 1's kind of slow, but it picks right up.
I do like it though. Still.
Well, that's JoJo's. I feel like everyone kind of has a grasp on what that is. So we'll go on to Omar. Omar, what's your number 8, and have you seen it in live action?
Number 8 for me is Steins Gate.
Steins Gate.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that start off kind of like slow, I guess, like 1 through 10, and then like it has a what the fuck moment. Sorry if I cursed.
At
Yeah,
this
it was one
point,
of
I
those
think we're
shows.
as canceled as we can be. So
Nice. But yeah, it started off slow, then it goes like, kind of like ReZero and Race, where it's like it has like the oh my god moment. And it has like in the main character, I think if I pronounce his name right, it's Akibe. Yeah, it's Akibe, right?
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. He just
Okabe,
has
I
like a whole
believe.
bunch of charisma. Okabe. Yeah. He just has like so much charisma. Like he has a little character
He is
reflex.
goated as a main character.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about like all these animes are in my top 10. They all have like some character that I like really enjoy watching. So yeah, he's also a main reason. I
Mhm.
gotta go with that.
I really
Yes.
enjoyed when I saw Steins Gate. I thought the character interactions were honestly a better part of the show than the writing. Like the actual plot was already pretty good, but I felt like the character interactions were actually better. It was
I don't
very
know
well
that's
written.
true.
It's a tough choice.
Like I could have genuinely watched that as a slice of life show and it would have been entertaining. The fact that
It
they
was kind of
yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, it was though.
them just talking to each other was always entertaining,
It,
and yet it also had excellent plot. That's not fair.
you know what it was? It was kind of like it's like a slice of life ReZero basically.
Pretty
It
much.
kind of that's what it is.
And did you ever watch Steins Gate Zero, the like parallel
Oh,
timeline version?
oh, when I see my top 8, I include in all of the series. So of course I'm gonna put zero. In. Yeah,
I also
of
really
course I
enjoyed
do.
Steins Gate Zero, which also had an excellent use of opening theme used for big climax at the end of the anime when he turns back into Hyoyin Kyoma after he had been this normal person for most of the series, and they play the original Steins Gate theme song as he's turning back. Chills.
Yeah, I definitely like the more depression like mood of it. It was kind of like if you've seen Clan, it's like the
Mhm.
first season's kind of like more happy, and then the second season comes in, it's like it's more depressing mood all around.
It's not even
It was
close to
good.
the
I like
same disparity between season 1 and season 2 as Clanad is, but
I chill on me. It is
Clanad
right.
was like if Konosuba season 2 became Goblin Slayer in season 2 for no reason. That's kind of what Clanad was like.
It's a weird
I'm just saying
comparison.
it was more. It's more depressing. Okay,
Well, you know what?
basically.
We'll go right on to Christian then. Christian, what do you got at 8?
Let's see what I put. Put number 8. I put Food Wars. I what was the actual name for that? It was like
I don't know. I just noticed Food Wars.
Shogeki no Soma. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was good. All right, I like competition, and you know what? They compete cooking food. It's really silly. I love it.
Did you ever check out the manga spinoff of Food Wars that had Sanji in it?
No, but I heard about that.
That's
It's
pretty
very good
cool.
too. It's very good too. Of course it is.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out. Anime started off pretty good, and simmered out a little bit at the end, but still
Was simmered
good
down
enough.
at the end an intentional pun or just pure coincidence?
Ooh.
What? It's just it just happened.
This man, he's clever even when he's not trying to be. It's incredible.
Natural God.
Kelly, what do you got at 8?
So what I got at number 8, you recently touched upon, but I have Demon Slayer.
Oh, we both had it at 8.
Cute.
Good show. I mean, I'm just going to end up piggybacking off of everything you said because everything you said is legitimately how I feel about it. Like, it's a really fun show. I like the story. It's there's not much else to say about it besides what you said. Like, I like the characters. It's cool that the story is kind of complex, and it's also kind of not at the same time. Like, I enjoyed that about it. It's literally just about this dude trying to protect his sister and stuff, and it's cool. But well, I got number 8.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna follow suit, and I'm piggybacking off of one we just talked about, so I got everything I wanted to say out during Omar's. But at number 7, I have Steins Gate, because I think Steins Gate is goated. I love it.
Yeah.
So we'll just go right on to Mason. Mason, my 7 was wasted, so what's yours?
My number 7 was I didn't include. This time it's the opposite. This time I just included one section instead of the whole series. I did OG Dragon Ball.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed it when I was a kid, watching in front of a little tube TV, seeing great ape stuff going on. I enjoyed that back then, and just the older I get and I go back to it, the better it gets. It's just pure adventure, and Z is good, GT is goated. I've said,
Goated.
and then Super is bleh. But
Yeah, agreed.
I just wish Toriyama stuck with this more adventure feel with combat, because it had good fights in it. Him versus literally Goku versus any fight with Goku was really good, and it didn't focus just on that. It did everything excellent. Also, Yamcha was goated back then, and he still should be today, but he's not.
Or Yamcha.
It is unfortunate.
They fucked him up within the first 15 episodes of the Z. He is never recovered. So
it is a shame
is
how
the
many
wrap.
characters got that treatment in the Dragon Ball franchise, where they set him up and they go, "Isn't this guy cool? Yeah, he
they
is."
literally.
Then they're like,
I think
"Yeah,
it's
we'll never
issue
talk about
with
him
what they
again."
do.
He's a desert bandit, man.
Well, they use everybody who came before as a stepping stone. Whenever they get somebody new, I just noticed that. And I know a lot of shows do that. They'll take the previous villain, just make the new villain, just wipe the floor with, and they're like, "Oh, look how much more terrifying this guy is." But Dragon Ball was bad about that.
Yamcha was
Like,
the
they're like,
original
"Oh,
villain,
look,
baby.
here's Vegeta. Let's let him just get wiped, just so people can be like, oh my god, how is Goku gonna beat this? Even though he's gonna pull something out of his ass to do it." But
out of every OG Dragon Ball character besides Goku, Piccolo probably got out in the best shape. But even then, right away, it was like Piccolo keeps saying, I am your rival. I don't like you." And then he keeps saying it, and you can tell that he means it. But just during the Saiyan saga, it's like, are you really? I don't think you are. You got bitched by Nappa. I don't think you are.
That's the most insulting thing anyone has ever said about anybody.
You got whooped by Nappa.
He kind of got his shit rocked by Raditz too.
Exactly, yeah. you were Piccolo. You were Great King Piccolo.
But to be fair, he was on par with Goku, and then he blasted Goku through the chest, and he got the whole Saiyan power up thing.
Senkai.
He spent that entire time taking care of his kid while Goku lifts weights with a monkey in space.
He was dead.
That's the dream.
And
Goku.
He comes back way out of his league.
This one's definitely going to be a longer episode. I'll tell you guys that much right now, because we're only at number 7. But you know what? We're talking about Dragon Ball. Let's segue yet again. Omar, what do you have at number 7? And did you watch the live-action version?
I think this one actually has a movie that's live action. It's Love is War.
It does. Did you watch it?
Of course not. But,
Boo.
I think you know why. Boo me. This is one of those shows that has, good character interactions. Like you mentioned in Steins Gate. I think this one does it even better because it's, more comedy. It's top notch.
I definitely found Love is War. That first time I saw it, the internet told me to go watch it. And I said, fine. That was winter 2019, which I still say to this day was the most jam-packed, stacked season since I became a seasonal anime watcher I have ever been a part of just having it had like 6 or 7 shows all at once. That it wasn't just that I was watching them, it was that they were all good. Winter 2019 was banging, but Love is War was the king of winter 2019.
It was.
I'm about to go look up Winter 2019 to see what the hell you're talking about.
I think winter 2019 had Love is War. It had Domestic Girlfriend, which, yes, we all agree is trash, but it was such watchable trash. It had...
It was funny to watch.
Yeah, Rising
Psycho.
of the Shield Hero. It had Mob Psycho. I want to say that was season 2.
Oh, they had My Roommate as a Cat. Show was good. Promise Neverland?
Promise Neverland.
It had Date Alive 3.
Alrighty. I'll take your word for it.
Shield Hero, yeah. Quintessential quintuplets.
There you go. Yeah, that was a banging season.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
I would put the Love is War a little lower than some of these, to be honest.
How dare you? No, I understand it, though. But yeah, Omar and I are...
Cat over Love is War, for sure.
Omar and I are the Love is War spokesman of this podcast, and I respect that he has it on his list. I may or may not have it on my list. Tease. CBC, Christian. What's your number 7? Is it sexy?
Oh, let me see. For number 7, I put Inuyasha.
That is a little
Yes.
sexy.
Yes.
Throwback to it a little bit, nothing crazy. I really enjoy how Inuyasha really starts. I kind of like the old feudal Japan type of era animes. It's nice to watch them sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a little slow in like the middle of it, but it's good nonetheless. It's a nice anime.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. Who doesn't like a little bit of Inuyasha?
Well, there you have it. Thank you, Christian. Kelly, number 7.
Number 7. I have, and I broke the rules, and I don't care. Fuck with me.
It's a movie?
Literally, it's a series of movies, but like these movies are worth noting. You'll hear more from me, especially later in this. But if you guys haven't seen the Future of the Exiled series, those series are super good. It's like a continuation of in between season 1 and season 2 of Code Geass. Like there's like 5 movies, but like they're all good. So since it was like an hour-long movie 5 times, I consider it a series, not a movie. But those are definitely worth watching if you've never seen it, because just the people who write that show are just so smart to me.
So this goes to just those movies and not Code Geass, right?
Yeah, just those movies.
Okay.
All right. Well, since next week, as a little spoiler for what we're doing next week, I thought we would do each of our top 10 movies list.
I've only seen like 3.
That will make it hard for Grizz.
Better start getting watched.
You have to give me a list of like 15 movies to watch so I can have some not make the list.
Silent
Don't ask
Voice.
Aaron for that.
I've seen that one.
He's seen A Silent Voice and he's seen Your Name, and I don't know what
Pancreas movie.
But yeah, my rule was going to be it couldn't be like series movies because those would be a part of these series here. But maybe for Grizz we make an exception. Like he's allowed to put the My Hero movies or the Demon Slayer movie, stuff like that.
Nope. I will watch other movies. I'm not going to throw them in there because.
All right, well,
I'll try. Send me some movies and I'll watch them.
Kelly is a movie fan. I do know that from having known him for a couple of years now. That man is a cinephile. So he very well might be able to get that done. We'll send him like 10 movies. He'll have them watched.
I hate watching movies, honestly. I don't even know if I'll have a 10.
They have to be really good, like, to put up that commitment.
I was a little bit sickened by myself when I was like, I wonder, how many movies have I watched? And I went onto my Mal list. And now, granted, this is going to include from like series and stuff, so it's probably less than this. But when I did the filter, and I said I went to completed, and I hit filter out, show me just movies, and I had 55 watched movies.
You're a maniac.
I said, oh, God. It's probably from when I worked that overnight job in college, and I was just watching anime every single Saturday. I made it movie night. Now, I wasn't just watching anime movies. I would occasionally watch real movies. But, yeah, that's probably where most of them came from, was my little movie nights on Saturdays.
Okay.
But,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Anyhow, Grizz has the Code Geass movies at number 7. Very respectable. Someone had this as an honorable mention earlier, as I move on to my number 6. But I'll talk a little bit more in depth about it here, because I didn't really hit it then, because it was an honorable mention. But ReZero is my number 6. This used to be in my top 3. I'm not going to lie. I was addicted to ReZero on my first watch through. I believe
Oh, it was really good.
only season 1 was out when I first found it. But I believe I completed all 24 episodes of season 1 in like 2 days. Like, I could not physically stop myself from watching this show. I was so addicted to, oh my God, I must know what happens next. Season 1 did a really great job, especially early, making you feel like you just had to know what happened in the next episode. I can't imagine being one of the people that watched that like seasonally back in 2016 when it came out and having to wait a week, being like, what the hell? I have so many questions.
And no answers.
I have not one answer. I thought Subaru was not a particularly realistic main character.
Yeah, kind of agree.
But he was certainly entertaining. Rem and Rom are obviously always in the...
Who's Rem?
Thank you. Everyone want to go ahead and get their ReZero memes out of the way now. Now is the time to do it. Emilia becoming the internet's Hitler for a while in 2016 for literally not doing a single thing wrong. That was funny. But yeah, it's a great show. Spawned some great memes. Then we had Echidna feeding Subaru her tea full of her bodily juices. Wasn't that right? In season 2. Glorious stuff. Everyone loves it. I love ReZero. It's my number 6. We'll move right on along. Mason, what do you have at number 6? And why is it also
All right.
ReZero?
Thankfully, no.
Oh,
But
boo.
number 6, I won't go into it like I did my other ones. But number 6 is Attack on Titan. Everyone knows what it is. Not speaking for the anime, but including the manga, I felt that the story for the most part was a banger, and then it goes out with a dud. And then the anime is kind of making me hate it a little more because they're kind of dragging it out. But at the same time, it is what it is.
They are
it's Attack on Titan.
professionally
It's
dragging
good.
it out.
They
That's
are
something
professionally making me mad.
And also shitting
That
on the
is-
animation, which is upsetting.
Oh yeah. That CG is a sin unto God,
On
and I hope
Easter.
Mappa is proud of themselves.
You know what I think about Attack on Titan? It's also my number 6.
Oh, good segue, Omar.
You
Go in.
Get him.
I know everybody's like, I think like right now everybody's like talking about the ending because the manga is over with. It's like it changed from a 10 out of 10 to like what 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. I don't know. I still like the story like from the beginning. It's a boy like who wanted revenge for his mom. It's just a good story.
Like the worst, because a lot of shows kind of fluctuate up and down as it goes along, but the worst place to go out with a dud is at the very end. You can't do that because it makes everything leading up to it just worse.
Mason, I don't mean to be rude here, but how
It's
do you
why the world now hates Game of Thrones.
go out with anything at any point other than at the end? You said the worst
Can I kick you?
the worst part to go out with a dud is the end?
Okay, the worst time to suddenly just drop in quality is at the very end.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it ruins everything leading up to it. It makes it feel pointless in a way, even if it's still good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what's amazing, Kelly mentioned Game of Thrones just now. I got to give it to you, though. Attack on Titan, the ending's starting to dud out a little bit. much like Game of Thrones, the ending was garbage. Absolutely atrocious. I bet Game of Thrones might still be on my top 10 shows list, though, if we were talking
Same here.
normal. Because
But, like-
the beginning was so awesome. You're like, well, it dropped a few
It would
spots,
be-
but it's still on there.
The first 6 seasons are like the best show to ever be on TV to me, and then like of course the last 2 were just so lackluster. But
It's impressive. It's impressive how bad they made it.
it was literally because like the series creator didn't have a 2 seasons. Like the 2 guys just took it from there and ran with it, and you can tell like
George
what's
finish
in
his book.
mind.
The exact same
'cause
thing
that's what
happened
That's what he's supposed to be doing, but
with The Walking Dead, but that happened sooner. I think like in season 5, Robert Kirkman left AMC's partnership and actually sued AMC. So it felt like AMC, in retaliation, decided to change every single story going forward. And they'd kill off random characters that were supposed to be important. Like they were like bitter. They're like, well, take this, Robert. How dare you sue us and leave us? Now we're going to ruin your story. And then those of us that, watched it were like, well, hold on. We're innocent in this. Why are we being punished? Anyhow.
Yeah, the story fell off before that anyway.
just give them credit though, because they were to take make a zombie show. Like that show is limping along, and it used to. It's a zombie in its own.
That's too much dead silence there following Kelly's thing, so I'm just going to talk. I'm going to keep talking until I think of something else to say.
So much reality on people.
It's
don't
called,
hear it, deal with it.
Well-
segue into Christian.
the most awkward segue ever. Christian, after 10 seconds of dead silence, what is your number 6?
My number 6. It is the OG Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Nice. It was a good show, It was nice. It wasn't like they didn't shit on like the characters as much as they did in the DBZ, and overall it was good. A lot of random ass villains that were like mini villains, kind of. It was nice. It's nice to see. They were just like on an adventure.
Arguably
Doing
the best
random shit all the time.
arguably the best tournament arc in the Dragon Ball franchise. Unless someone
Yeah.
disagrees.
Yeah.
Which one?
Come on, Aaron.
Which one, Aaron?
Back up your talk.
There's
Like the
2
kind of
tournaments.
It's like which team
Well,
you choose?
there are 2, yeah.
I remember literally nothing about the tournament apart from Goku having
being
to
good?
fight again. He fought Krillin in it, right?
Yeah, he fights it.
Mm-hmm.
At one point,
I always really enjoy how Krillin is such a dick in first Dragon Ball, and then later on he's just a wuss.
He got humbled.
It's because he got fucking caught lacking going back to that tournament, man.
well, we kind of
It's
hit
unfortunate.
on Dragon Ball a little earlier, but yeah, I guess we've hyped up.
Kelly.
We got Z and we got Dragon Ball up. So Kelly, tell us, why is number 6 on your list Dragon Ball Super?
It is definitely not Dragon Ball Super, but it is the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works variety, because it's the best route of any of that for sure. Like, love that show. It was whenever you first showed it to me, it was like the first show like after My Hero where I got into it. Like, this is a really cool story, and like I literally looked forward to furthering that every time we watched it, and everything else afterwards let me down because it set such a high bar, and that's why I liked it so much.
So when
You
you
let 'em
say
down.
when you say the Unlimited Blade Works variety, I assume you just mean the Ufotable shows, like just Zero and.
I'm just saying like
Unlimited
that
Blade Works?
route.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying like 'cause the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works and Heavens feel like that. I was meant like variety as in like the route. Just trying to use fun word usage, but that's what I meant by it.
Okay, so basically the Ufotable series, because Fate is unfortunately way too expansive. That to put our rule into place where you have to, where I was talking about, try to just clump them all together. Let's not break it down season by season. It would be a bit ridiculous for Fate, because like Half that shit was made by like 8 different studios, have all made a different version of Fate, and some of them are literally unwatchable. And I am a Fate fan, and I do mean unwatchable. I'm sorry. I know some people liked it, but Lost on Encore that was on Netflix, that is abysmal. It is so boring.
I couldn't get through Apocrypha with you. That was just brutal.
See, and I was okay with Apocrypha. It was a step down. But when I say Lost Encore is unwatchable, Kelly would probably literally make it through 10 minutes of episode 1 and go, yeah, no, he was right. I can't watch this.
I can't fathom that.
It's first of all by an entirely different. At least Apocrypha, I still believe, had really high quality animation, if nothing else. The writing definitely went downhill, and the story, putting it in a separate timeline and all that other trash Fate likes to do is always wild. But yes, Kelly's talking about Fate Zero and Unlimited Blade Works, the Ufotable versions, peak level, whatever you want to call it, combat, anime. The fight scenes are spectacular. The plot is a bit wild at times and sometimes a bit much. But Kelly is definitely the type that likes that, and I liked it in this sense. I loved it. Kelly obviously has it in his top 6. I get made fun of from time to time for being a Fate fan, but I don't care because Fate is
I don't either.
fantastic.
Makes
Come
fun
from
of you
me.
for being a Fate fan.
I don't either. Come from me if you got to.
The main reason I think people mock Fate fans is just because of the memes about it being overly complicated and the fact that, it has too many best girls in it. So the assumption is that it's some sort of like harem type of show when that really never comes into play. But I won't say that they don't fan service out the girls because that would be a lie.
I don't think you're getting bullied at all for Fate. I think you're lying to us.
I do that sometimes.
You are.
I'll admit it. I have a problem.
Sometimes.
All right.
I did tell you I was pooping earlier, and I was in fact literally pooping. So from
That's a
time
lie.
to time,
You
You
won't
might
be
tell the truth sometimes. He dabbles in it.
I gotta sprinkle in a couple bits of truth so that you still believe my lies. We already touched on this earlier. I'll move right on to my number 5. But I have Love Is War as a top 5 show I have seen. I loved Love Is War. I won't apologize for it, but I already talked about it earlier during Omar's section. I thought Gigook's joke summarized it kind of nicely. The basic premise is, if a tsundere and a tsundere fell in love, would anyone find out? And it's honestly pretty funny. They get themselves into some wacky little situations. Gives me a giggle. Mason, we're into the top 5 territory now. This is serious time. You feel me? Like these are the big boys. These ones matter. If you get these ones wrong, then you have to kill yourself. What's your number 5?
Oh, well, my number 5, just like Attack on Titan, I won't talk too much about it because everyone knows this. It is Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
I just finally got around to watching Cowboy Bebop. It was pretty
It took
solid.
you long enough.
I never finished
sure did.
it fully. I got halfway through, but I loved it.
It's
Loved it so
just
far.
it's a classic for a reason. The style and everything, the characters is just so iconic. Even people who haven't watched it are like, yeah, Kelly Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks for itself. I don't think I have to say much more behind that.
I also the soundtrack is spectacular.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I love the soundtrack, too.
absolutely.
Now I
love
was
the soundtrack.
I was a Firefly fan as a kid. I really
my
loved
God.
Firefly, and I have to mention this every time Cowboy Bebop is brought up. So everyone bear with me as I bring it up yet again. The tone and genre is so similar. It was a very nostalgic watch for me as I went, wait a minute, I've seen this. I know that this is good. This is good.
Talks like a caveman to himself as he watches media.
Caveman brain works in mysterious ways, but I never fight it. Omar, what do you have to start your top 5?
Kind of similar, actually. It's not Cowboy Bebop, but it's made by the same director. It's a Samurai Champloo.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Omar digging
Yeah.
into the Adult Swim on Cartoon Network animes now, I see.
I didn't actually watch an Adult Swim though, but it's an interesting story. I think it has one of the best fights I've seen in anime, actually. Like, 2 of the characters are like this outlaw samurai. There's like there's this guy named Jin. He's a real badass. It's just a great story, dude. Like, it
Pretty
has the
good.
best
It's
fight
not.
scenes.
It's not talked about as much as it should.
Cowboy Bebop. Oh, and the soundtrack it has like more hip hop. Because Cowboy Bebop is like jazz, and this one's like more hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Which is
It's
amazing
pretty
that
short.
that it would still be underrated at this point, considering it was legitimately a what do they call that? That like 2-hour stretch? Toonami, right? On Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
Yeah. Samurai Champloo was on Toonami. So you'd think it'd get a little more mainstream attention at this point. Most of the Toonami shows.
I mean, like
get...
people like who've seen it are like, this is great, but like I don't see it talked about as much as like other classics like
I know.
Cowboy Bebop.
It
That's
has,
wild.
Like the fighting's kind of like it's a little less flashy, but it's there. It's not as flashy as like Demon Slayer or Dragon Ball, but it gets the job done, and you'll enjoy it if you watch it.
Gets the job done. The shiningest endorsement you could ever possibly give. Christian, what do you have at number 5?
Number 5? I haven't finished it entirely yet, but it's already in my top 5. Might even go higher when I finally finish it. It's Gintama. Just,
Gintama in here.
This man's got something in his top 5 he hasn't even finished yet.
He's that good. He's that good.
It's funny. It's good. It's a real stupid show. I love it.
It is the apex of a comedy anime. It is peak. It explains filler to you like you're an idiot.
You gotta watch the filler too, just because
Exactly.
it's just stupid. It doesn't matter.
It like perfectly gets you to watch it by explaining why you should.
It's one of the 2 animes I have in my top 5 that are comedy. Just so you know, just how good it is in comedy.
That
comedy done right works really well.
Now, I know the Grizz despises comedy over there, but I have definitely grown an attachment to anime comedies. They're just so weird.
Oh yeah, the Japanese culture fits perfectly well with any kind of comedy.
Speaking of Kelly, you got a number 5 over there?
Nope, I have no number 5. I'm just kidding.
I had a
I had Jujutsu Kaisen, which I think is going to be I think that's going to eventually at some point overtake My Hero Academia and be like the shonen type show of like this next generation. That show is like too good.
Now that unlike Aaron, because Aaron now that I completely am with you on.
See, my statement was not about my own opinion of the quality of the show, but rather the reach that it had. Like, My Hero is clearly a ridiculous mainstream phenomenon at this time. It's easily got the biggest mainstream following of currently airing anime shows.
I mean, like, it fell off hard, Aaron. I don't know what you mean. It fell off hard after season 1 or 2. It fell off like
never fell off too.
It did.
The quality fell off, yes, but you just get on Twitter and you can easily see, like, the number of people that watch it.
Okay, Aaron, I don't follow girls with that like frog girl profile picture. I don't follow those people.
Damn.
That was what I meant when I was saying that.
Looking at Twitter right now, don't see anything.
People who like it really still like it still, but in terms of general populace, it's not nearly as talked about as like it was because they got sick of Deku.
Maybe.
Which I understand.
I'm just willing to bet it's probably got the highest following mainstream culture-wise of any of the
I don't
current
know,
I'm
man.
going to think for now it does. I just think that this has the
I've made a lot
potential
of
to
money.
overtake it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that movie, like,
It's going to have to
I
get
think
past
it's on
Demon
its
Slayer
way.
first.
And that's not going to be too hard. It's already a superior show to Demon Slayer just based off of its merit and story.
I'm
But
just saying, man. Any anime movie that comes here to the States, they gotta be Pokemon. I've said before, they gotta be Pokemon. They can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, now that it's a shame that once we're reaching these higher levels, this is when we've got so many repeats, so there's nothing to talk about. But at my number 4, I finally get to mention my love for the Fate series. I've got the Ufotable Fate. See, Fate Zero is
Nice.
flawless. It is perfection. And Fate Unlimited Blade Works is pretty darn good as well. But
yeah,
the fact that they managed to properly develop every single main character in the series is probably its strongest writing aspect, because they, right off the bat, oversaturate the number of main characters. You get into Fate Zero, immediately they're like, all right, and by the way, we've got like 15 main characters that we're going to have to follow. And you're like...
and everyone knows my boy is badass, too.
And I don't mean like, these are the 15 kids. Like, I mean, like, no, they are the main... Like, you follow all of them pretty much equally. Fate Zero, if you went in blind with no idea about how the main timeline of Fate is going to ultimately get to, you genuinely would probably not have any idea who's going to win throughout 90% of that series, because they do such a great job of making all 15 of the main characters feel like the main character. It is amazing. And they give ample time to all of them and properly develop them. And you go, this seems impossible. But good work, Ufotable, and your unlimited budget works. And then Unlimited Blade Works come around, and you pretty much know who the main guy is in that one, which is unfortunate, but they still managed to really get a good dose of character development for each and every one of both the masters and the servants. And I loved it. Thought it was spectacular. And if you just like great fight scenes, Ufotable does not miss. Ufotable could animate, the old waffle falling over gif. I guarantee you, given 30 minutes in a studio with their budget, Ufotable could produce something that would win at least one Crunchyroll award by year's end.
Okay, yeah. Like that, they just do everything extremely well.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Ufotable, you might get mocked for some of their series being a fan, because people like to make fun of all the hip mainstream stuff. But one thing you cannot question is that they clearly have an overabundance of money at their disposal when it comes to just purely animating all of their shit. Because it's the one thing no one can argue. Mason, speaking of arguments, give me something controversial as your 4. I feel like arguing.
My number 4 is Golden Kamuy. Or
You
Kamuy,
bitch.
one of the two. It is an anime that Ponch showed me. That Ponch showed me the just the title for it. I don't even think he's even watched it, but I picked it up, and there's 3 seasons right now with the 4th coming. It's just a really good show, and the OP for season 1 slaps a bunch of titties.
Well, that's awfully kind of it.
I don't think anyone here's watched it, but out of everything that I've ever recommended to somebody besides my number 1 pick that you will see coming, it's a shocker, I'm sure. But out of almost everything that I've ever recommended, Golden Kamuy is way up there because it's genuinely fantastic and not nearly talked about enough.
All right, I gotcha. Omar, you have something controversial that anyone else here has seen for your number 4.
That's not controversial at all. Well, this anime actually hasn't even finished Like the manga hasn't even finished it. It's a Hunter x Hunter. I think you've heard about it at least.
It's never gonna finish.
Yeah.
Does
There's
it have a
no date
live
of it
action
determined.
version?
Probably, I don't know. Maybe there's a fan made live action show or something.
Omar's on his last straw here, Aaron.
Yeah. No, if you like adventure, you'll like this show.
If it is not finished, it'll be right up there with Berserk. We don't know if it's gonna be finished here or not, but if it's not, it'll be up there in terms of just the biggest missed opportunities. Which I can't blame the guy. What's wrong with the author?
I think he has back problems.
Yeah, like I can't blame
He
him
doesn't really
really,
disclose on it.
but
Yeah.
but it'll be one of the biggest travesties because it's great.
You know who his wife is, right? She's the one that made Sailor Moon.
She made Sailor Moon.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
Oh, my old boss will
no.
be so
We
excited.
don't know that.
Yeah,
That's
he scored.
amazing. Man, I didn't know that fact made my entire day. That's awesome.
And he's married to the Sailor Moon actor. So
That's perfect. I hope she pushed them to finish
or
his
she
book.
might help. She might help. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of Hunter x Hunter. Though it's fun. Like everybody's like, "Oh, this is one of the goats."
Never heard of it, man. What is it?
It's the goat.
There you have it.
Okay.
Christian, what do
Yeah,
you
number
got at
four,
number
Lego.
4?
Oh, you want something controversial?
Oh, yeah. Give it to me.
Okay.
That's it.
Just changing it up right now. Oh man, high score girl. High score. No,
Are you serious?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It's a ReZero. I have ReZero.
Oh,
Yes.
Aaron was ready to fight.
I do love high score girl though.
Everyone's got to love
Enjoy
High
it.
Score Girl. It's got genuinely disgusting CGI in it, and you just don't care. You go ahead and you watch it anyway. Anyhow, tell us about ReZero, that which we haven't already covered since 2 of us have already thrown it onto ours.
You know, when I first watched it, it was real good. I was loving it, man. But it kind of made me feel sad a little bit when I was watching, like the middle of it, when he's just getting shitted on constantly. I was like, damn, bro, this kind of. I had to stop watching it for a little bit because it was like, damn, this is a little too much. I can't keep going. And I had to come back to it, and I finished it. Oh, it's great. And then they came out another season. Oh man, that was the other season. The next season, season 2 was. They kept up with it, you know.
Yeah.
It was great all through.
I find ReZero spectacular, and I also enjoy that at one point we had a waifu war going on in the chat in which we had you, Omar, and I each had a different waifu. And you remember earlier how I said it was like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Pokemon battle, and then the retarded kid was the Digimon fan off in the corner? I admit it, but I don't care because I stick with it to this day. I feel like I am the Digimon fan of this war. But it doesn't matter because I'm sticking with it, where CBC was definitely the Rem supporter. Omar was an Amelia fanboy. And I was the Rom fan, baby. Go pink-haired twin for the win.
I don't think that's that bad. I think they're all like.
I still
think
feel
he
like
makes
I'm entirely alone on that whenever I venture into the depths of the internet.
He's making fake drama, guys. We never argued about this. Now we probably did actually. I definitely was Team Emulator though.
Listen, Omar,
He's
fake
the only
drama
one
is what gets the
Problem.
ratings.
Okay, let me ask Christian. Did we argue over this?
Mantis maybe came in yelling at us, you know, but
Guns ablazing.
we just ignored him. We were like, whatever.
I guess he wants us to start yelling and cussing.
How about you, Kelly? What do you got at number 4?
All right, so I'm only touch on it briefly because I'm sure we'll hear more about it from someone later on. But number 4, I have One Piece, which is a fantastic show all around.
Ooh.
I don't care what anybody else has to say.
How did you think
When it comes to adventure, like fun adventure shows, like this is kind of it. Like you can't really get better than it for what it does, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And you had
So
it at 4?
I had it at
So
4.
Luffy-
Oh, Mason's gonna come for you now. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Let's
to
go,
everyone.
Zoro.
I
Let's go,
appreciate
Luffy.
it being on your list, Grizz, but number 4, 3 and 2 better be like Bible level peak, or
It's
that
Pokemon.
Grizz has the actual Bible, the animation.
I'm gonna be
as
under
his number.
scrutiny now.
So this is going to be wild as I move into my top 3, but I actually had these in a completely different order when I sat down at this desk. And since we began talking, I decided to rearrange the order of my top 3 because they're so interchangeable. But I feel stronger now about this version than I do about how I always tell people my top 3 is. So at number 3, I have Attack on Titan. We've already covered it. Like 2 other people had it in their top 10. It's Attack on Titan. What have we not said about it already? It was my number 2. I'm bumping it back to 3. Since I sat down, I've bumped it back to 3. But it's a podium finish, a bronze medal for Attack on Titan. The first
Hate Attack on Titan now?
No. It is the first anime that got me back into anime since like I was a little kid and I watched Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dang, and you hate it now too? Dropped it?
Jay.
Rankings? Dang. No loyalty, man.
I wish I could yell at you guys for putting words in my mouth, but unfortunately, I am like suspect 0 when it comes to putting words in people's mouths on this show, so I feel as though I can't. So I guess I just have to live with this and move on to Mason. What kicks off your top 3? What wins the bronze?
Bronze proudly goes to Doro which is, in my opinion, until Chainsaw Man comes out later this year, until that happens, in my opinion, this is the best show Mappa has made. It is. I mean, it's a very unique show. Right off the bat, it just hits you where you don't know what's going on, you don't know where you are, you don't know what's happening. But it just everything. It can feel bizarre, but yet right at home at the same time with how well it's written, with how likable all of the characters are, and their dynamics with each other. And once again, just like with Golden Kamuy, the OP slaps major. It's amazing. Also, all of the endings, the ending songs also slap, which is always a huge plus because that makes starting and ending each episode even more of an event. And yes, they made Attack on Titan season 4 and all that, but this, I feel, is Mappa's magnum opus.
See, that's you talked about that. That's singularly the sole reason I actually sat here and I bumped my number 1 and my number 2 got bumped to 2 and 3, and my 3 jumped up to 1 because I realized my number 1 and number 2, obviously you just found out Attack on Titan was one of them, dropped in quality at the end. And so did my original number 1 that is now my number 2. If they didn't drop, if they had just stayed as good as they were the first few seasons, they'd still be where they are. And Mappa is to blame for one of them by absolutely shitting upon the animation for Attack on Titan. Those bastards. But I have heard that Dorohedoro is in fact quite good indeed. So
it's also like very kind of heavy with the CG, but unlike Attack on Titan, it don't feel out of place. It kind of feels it fits into place more so here, which is good.
You know what else feels out of place? Omar. Speaking of Omar, what do you have at number 3?
That's a mean way to segue.
It's what I do. It's
You
what
know
I'm
who's a
paid
freak?
for.
Omar. Tell me your top 3.
So I think I'm leaving actually. But no, my top 3 would be Evangelion. Yep, Evangelion.
Ooh.
Oh God, I forgot all about Evangelion.
Why do you
It's
both
like,
pronounce it so weird?
so you can hear it.
It's Evangelion. Say it correct right now, Omar.
Evangelion. Okay, Star Trek
Evan-
nerd, calm down.
Heck,
Ivan,
all of a sudden
Ivan,
you care
fuck
about
you.
pronunciation. What the hell?
No, but
You
for
never
serious,
pronounce
Omar,
anything right.
for those of us that have somehow never heard of Neon Genesis Evangelion, go into some detail. What is it you love so much about your bronze medal winner?
I honestly just like the awkwardness of like the main character Shinji and how he talks to like the woman of the show.
Omar,
It's kind of like
please say right
it's
now
depressing.
that you relate to Shinji. Please say that's why you love him. So you
I
find
relate
him
to
to
Goku.
that you find him to be a relatable protagonist.
I will say
Just
this:
like me
he's
for
relatable.
real.
He's more relatable to like kind of like 50% of the males. I don't know. I even say 90% of the males who watch anime than they are to like some shonen protagonists. So yes, he's relatable.
Yeah.
I'd say 90%.
SAT
No,
has
for
got
real.
to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like he just has
No,
to.
he is.
He would
Shinji
love
is like a
Shinji.
No, he is a realistic character though, because he's a 14-year-old kid put it like to like you gotta save the world. And he's like, I don't really want that. I just want my dad's love. He's like, get in the fucking robot, you piece of shit.
Yeah,
and
and
then
his dad is such a piece of shit.
he just
It's
wants
so
like to be
real.
loved. He wants to be loved. But he's just like a 14-year-old kid, and everybody's like, why is he such a bitch?
Because he's
But
14.
yeah, like in terms, even though I don't have Eva anywhere on my list, one point that I'll give it is that even though I am a massive mech fan in anime, Eva with their Evas, their big mechs, it has the best designs for those kind of things out of
Yeah.
any other like mech show.
Well, and
Easily.
It's also kind
I-
of like a mindfuck show. You know
That's-
what I mean?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You
I
don't know what's going on sometimes.
I legitimately
Go ahead.
can't hear the opening for Evangelion without immediately getting up and just bopping to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
The instant it starts playing, I begin dancing on command. It was on my wedding playlist.
It's like when someone's like brainwashed and then given like a trigger word.
Yes, that is exactly what
For
this
Aaron,
is
it's
like.
Eva OP.
It's a great opening.
It is good. It is good. It's not like top 10, but it's good.
That might be a list for some future episode on here. But
That will be fun.
we'll go on to Christian. He feels like he's left out right now. And he needs to let us know who his third place anime is.
But you guys get left out too. Oh, I got you, man. I won't be like Aaron and put something on everyone else already has on the list. I got
Darling in the Franks. Darling in the Franks.
no. I love that show, but no. Kuroko no Basket. Basketball anime.
Ooh, unexpected. Unexpected. I like
It's
it.
arguably one of the best, sports animes ever. Probably, easily. Just because I feel like they did it just like how you would want a sports anime. Just they give you an entire season, for basketball just to watch.
Did Christian die
He
halfway
just
through
he
his
just
review?
faded out.
There you go.
I don't know what happened.
Welcome back. You fade off.
Where did I end up at? Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
You were talking about playing like a whole season.
I go through a whole season, they finish it, and it just gives you the ending how you would like want to see in the anime, especially like a sports anime. Oh, it's just nice.
I
And
really
they top it
thought
off with like a little movie.
his
That, like-
review was going to end with the word ending. Like he was going to say
like
the
that-
reason he loves it was it gives us an ending.
That fade off by Christian reminded me of like when someone talks so much something, it fades off and then fades back and at the very end.
Got Thanos, bro. Got
You just
Thanos.
vanished.
Kelly,
Lord.
you're on the podium now. You got to give out your medals. Who's on the low one? Who's number 3?
So, I already know I'm gonna get crucified by everybody, and that's fine.
Oh, brilliant! I
But
love
this
controversy.
is mostly and it's just mostly based off of the first half of this show, but literally Naruto Shippuden, like up until the pain arc, was fantastic. I thought.
Okay.
You're breaking my balls. Breaking my balls.
Funny. He put it over.
You
Put over
He
one.
put it over
you
One
put that
Piece.
garbage-
Put over one. He put over.
It's tough. Like I'm
Put
gonna
over
give One
Dragon
Piece
Ball.
the.
You put
Here's
half of
one
the show
thing that,
over
like,
One Piece.
But that's the thing is, I've only seen 190 episodes of One Piece, and it's at number 4. I've seen the entirety of that; it's at number 3. So it definitely has the chance to beat it. Because I'm sure the show's going to get better.
You look Crocodile right in the eyes, and you're like, the first half of it is better.
The first half was phenomenal; it really was.
Okay,
And then the second
then
half
what
was
if you-
good. It was really good too. It definitely had a twist at the end that ruined it a little bit, like Game of Thrones and like all these other shows that just decide to just forget what they're doing just to end the show. But yeah, just for what it is, that's where I have it right now.
Oh, that was my favorite part of that is that the entire first 30 seconds of Kelly giving his review and his reasoning in the background was just Mason muttering to himself the whole time. Oh, you got it ahead of One Piece. I cannot believe that. His mind was breaking a little bit.
It didn't hit me at first. At first, I was like, "Oh, yeah, Grizz put Naruto on there," and then his list was like reorganizing in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god, this bastard."
This bastard.
It was like in Mason's head, it was like the ending of Saw when the main character is like putting everything together and the music starts playing. That's what was going on in Mason's brain as he realized it was ahead of just panic overwhelming his face. Oh my god!
And now, after that, Kelly, you are going to have to finish Skype it and then get right back on this podcast and then preach to the world about how you are a wrong doo-doo head.
Oh,
Okay,
Kelly,
damn.
please, when we get to it, please have Sword Art Online as your number 1. I want to see if Mason actually dies. I'll jump into my number 2 though, real quick.
I think I might die.
I will kill him like a Frenchman.
I just thought from start to finish, the execution of the writing of Sword Art Online was just far superior to that of One Piece.
I'm just saying, man, Kirito is a top tier character in every sense of the word.
And again, we've talked about it before. I'm not a Sword Art Online hater. I just make fun of it for what it deserves to be made fun of. So I'll put it out there. Anyhow,
For all the glopping noises.
And this one that we've already discussed and Mason has already hated on. So we've gotten it out of the way. But my number 2, it used to be my number 1 because I just loved seasons 1 and 2 and 3. That's all that existed when I first found the show, and I binged the shit out of it. I lost sleep trying to watch the next episode. I was a college walk-on, playing sports. I played football. And I didn't get to play a lot in high school until my senior year, and I always felt like I was being held down because I wasn't the most athletic, this and that. And I related to season 1 through 3, Deku from
Just
My
like
Hero
me.
Academia. I related
Aaron
to
just straight up said he
This
related
dude said
to
he's
a
not.
loser.
Hold on. This dude said he's not
He's a
athletic,
loser.
though.
not
And then
in-
he left me to think the show was good.
I liked it because I related to the struggle the main character was going through. And
Okay.
it has a special
Oh, yeah,
place in
man.
my heart.
The all-powerful god of this world giving you his power. Yeah, man, that struggle was rough.
Okay, yeah, fine. I didn't get that, and that was less relatable. But you understand what I'm actually talking about here, of the kid who had a huge dream, wanted to do something, had the heart to do it, but didn't have the talent to do it, and had to find a creative way around it. That was the part that I related
know.
to. And I said, you know what?
But he didn't find a creative part to do it though, because he didn't do anything but be sad about it, and then he didn't make something of himself until he got the power anyway.
And then he had to work hard to get himself fit to it.
he never beat like Bakugo or like anyone else without a power that was given to him. Like he never overcame much of anything.
He
He worked
overcame
out
a
at a
lot,
beach.
damn it.
Okay, he worked out at a beach. If someone said that if you do this, you get God mode, you would do it too.
So you
I
even
did
like
do it.
you
Plus-
even like season 4 or 5? You don't
I like them.
like.
They're just not
'Cause I
to
mean,
the same level, so it bumped it down a spot. I still have
You
it number
telling
2.
you're telling me the like Deku and Lemillion fight against the villain or whatever.
That was
start
spectacular.
with- And then at the very end, they had the Endeavor fight with Nomu or whatever, and he.
Oh yeah, the Endeavor fight was raw. That was
I
one of my
love that
favorite
one. I
moments.
love that fight. That's my favorite fight ever.
I like Endeavor. I like he's
Endeavor's
a bad
cool.
father.
I
He's
I
too
also-
good.
I also
be
relate to
quiet.
the moral code of Tenya Ida. I am a fan of overly moral characters because I find
Ida was
them.
awesome.
I love Ida. And I also like
Yeah,
All
see,
Might and
like-
Eraserhead.
I would love this show a lot if Deku just didn't exist, and like I just had All Might being like the big guy, and like you focus on him teaching all the time.
All right, well, we've shit upon My Hero Academia enough, and I've tried my best to defend
Yep.
it to no avail. It's probably never going to be something that ever actually successfully happens. But Mason, we're at number 2 now.
Yeah.
What do you got?
My number 2. This has gotten blue balled twice on this list, and I'm glad that happened because I get to finally give it the praise I feel it has earned. Mob Psycho 100.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, nice.
I first watched One Punch Man. It's really good, and then I discovered Mob, and I was like, this is good. It's MMA by the same guy. This could be pretty good. It excels One Punch Man by miles. Mob is the perfect good boy.
Goated.
He is also one of the best characters in terms of being
Anime
overpowered
history.
to everybody.
Hell yeah!
His kindness. I mean, every single character around him. The Body Improvement Club is the best personification of muscle dudes in anime history.
Pretty great.
That moment at the end of season 2, where what the captain is like covering Mob, and then Dimple like takes over his body for a second, and then just beats this big dude's ass. That's hype. Everything about this show is just sweet hype.
It is.
And I'm so glad I got to give it 2 after 2 people made it in our mention. Which
I'll
is
say
fine.
the opening.
Next
The
season,
openings are
it's gonna
nice as well.
it's gonna reach the top 7 at least.
Oh yeah, I'm
for me
excited
too.
for season 3.
Well, alrighty. Well, thank
I'll
you,
probably
Mason.
overtake the race.
I think it's on my to watch list yet again, but I just haven't gotten to it, so I don't have any.
You're a loser.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of losers, Omar, what do you have at number 2?
What did he do?
Ouch.
What did he do to you?
I don't know. I just
know.
felt it was appropriate after I had a mean one for him earlier. I had to double down.
He's slashing out
Harsh.
because of my hero. Slashing out.
It's true. You guys
Yeah,
hurt
That
my
had to
feelings,
keep
and
a
now I
loser
feel like
Deku.
I feel like a cornered animal. I have to just attack outward.
He's just lashing out at us, yeah.
Yeah, just Omar,
he's
though.
a cornered, like, freaking raccoon or some shit.
Yeah, I was over here quiet, and he's like, "Well, fuck this big piece of shit."
Speaking of,
No, my number 2.
I was about to say.
Go ahead.
Speaking of pieces of
Go
shit,
ahead.
Omar, what's your number 2?
Well, this
Jesus.
show's bad a piece of shit because Grizz will clarify this and that. Code Geass. That's my number 2.
Two.
Number 2. That's good number 2. Grizz, you better shut up about wrong placement. You better shut up right now. I will end you right now.
His number one better be
Number
like
2,
goat tier.
One piece of 4.
It is
You know
Goat
what his
Tier.
number 1 is.
If it's Dragon Ball Super, I'm finding my way through
not
this phone and I'm fighting you.
Sao, Sao, Sao.
No, but I think. Did we talk about Code Geass, or he just talked about the movies? Yeah, right?
Just the
movie.
movies.
Yeah, I talked about the movie series. Yeah,
This is
the
one of, like,
Akito stuff.
this is one of like the most like well written animes I've seen, and the main character, Lelouch, he like literally plays checkers against his enemies. Literally, sometimes.
Yeah.
Checkers?
He's
a
one of
peak character.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he plays checkers.
More of a chess guy
Alright.
myself, but
Yeah.
But no, he's like one of the smartest characters. Like if you think Light's smart, he's like 10 times ahead.
What if I don't
Yeah,
think
Light
Light is
died.
smart?
10
yeah,
pounds.
Light
Whoa.
lost. Yeah, he,
Well then,
smart enough.
yeah, but if you don't like Light, I have nothing to say. You like Deku, so I don't care what you say.
Deku, top 10 smartest anime character of all time. Anyhow, we have no time for anyone's retort to my comment. So, Christian, what do you have at number 2?
My number 2, I said, the last show I picked was, one of the best sports animes. This is another one. It's Haiku.
I knew this would be.
yeah,
I was wondering if
get
this wouldn't
in.
be number 1.
Number 1.
I know number 1, yeah.
Haiku, it's great. It's not as as good as Kuroko no Basket and like a sports feel, I guess, but it gets you hyped, man. It's like, what the hell, man? I'm cheering over here for some volleyball game, I don't even like volleyball like that. It's just got me hyped for it.
Men's volleyball, no less.
Exactly. It's just, they're over there just every episode, man. It's just, they do take a while for the matches, to end. They go through a lot of episodes, but I feel like kind of builds on the hype, and it's real nice.
Yeah, it's not too intrusive.
It's a little tough, to watch like seasonal. All sports animes kind of are, because then you gotta wait for next week for like conclusion to like something, or you gotta watch a setup for just a game. But it's good. It's good.
I believe also, yet again, on my watch. I'm trying to see if I can't get into more sports anime, because I like sports, I like anime. They really should combine nicely. They're both
Probably
all
like
about
Haiku.
that
They
hype.
do.
Yeah.
You get into Haiku, I feel.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that this Aoashi, this soccer anime airing this year, is a real bop. I think that'd be great.
It's pretty Bobby.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, they have a setup anime. They have a setup episode also this week for it. Kinda.
Oh. Well,
So
I think I
Probably
know
better
what
than
he's got at
Stranger.
1. So this is my last surprise on Kelly's list. But what do you have at number 2, Grizz?
Me, I have the show that you touched on a little bit earlier, Fate
Oh.
Zero, the other
Oh.
Fate. Which I'm going to piggyback on everything you said there. Like all the characters are great. Like I know you and everybody else disagree with me, but like Kuritsugu is one of the coolest main characters ever because this dude's literally fighting wizards and mages with fucking straps. And I think that's just sick. So it was a fun show to watch all the way through. Liked the show. Really cool villain, smart plot, even though it is convoluted as all hell. Just all around good show.
Can I say this too? I mentioned earlier that the one thing I always give to Dragon Ball Z is that Perfect Cell is my favorite anime villain. Fate Zero has my second favorite anime villain of all time,
Don't you say it.
and that would be Koto Mine,
Okay, cool.
who he also appears in Unlimited Blade Works, as a little spoiler there for everybody, but that is the original adaptation of the storyline. Anyhow, Kirei Kotomine is easily my favorite modern, like of my second wave of weebdom, anime villain of all time. I love Kotomine. He, much like Cell, emits that same level of extremely confident badass, but just despicable enough that you don't actually want him to win. You just enjoy him being on the screen. It's the perfect combo. It's that Darth Vader, at the end of Star Wars. Like, you don't really hope he wins, but you're really glad you got to see him on your TV because he was just so cool the whole time he was there. It's the perfect balance. I thought Kotomine had it. Is that all we got on that one? Are we moving on to all of our number ones? Is it?
We into our number
Yes.
one?
We're on here. We're ready.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm a little interested to see Omar's and CBC's because I know Mason's, I know Kelly's. I only have a guess
don't
at
know
those
me.
two.
Mine.
I know
No.
yours, Mason.
You
Mine,
don't know me at all.
I decided to go a little bit more fun. It was at number 3. I moved it to number 1. I mentioned earlier that Asobi Asabase was one of the 2
Oh,
funniest
I know.
pure comedies I have ever seen. This is the other one, but it adds an element of plot, and if we're allowed to include the manga as part of the series, the
Oh,
continuation of this
know.
is my
you're
favorite
not allowed.
manga of all time. Grand Blue is
As
the
soon as he
funniest
said manga, I knew it.
anime I have ever seen, and it even includes a little bit of plot, which Asobi Asabase did not. I love Grand Blue. I've been promoting it since day 1 of Weebchat. The very first day we were in there, every time someone would enter the chat, we'd add a new person, the first thing I'd say to them is, read Grand Blue. Watch Grand Blue. Get on that. Go watch
I
yourself some
think you
Grand
told
Blue.
me that. You're lying right now. You never told me that.
I am 100% confident I did.
You did tell me that, but I just ignored it.
That's how Kelly and I met. Just ran into him on the street.
Grizz
I
is a
was
smart
like,
man.
Yeah. Hey, stranger. You ever heard of the anime Grand Blue? Because you
He just kept
should.
He didn't
walking.
even say Grand Blue. He said, "Hey, get on that."
Anyhow,
Then walked away.
it follows a diving club at a Japanese college, and the anime features almost no diving at all. It's basically just college antics and that same weird facial expression humor that anime seems to love, except this is the best version of it ever done. It's just spectacular. They get into so many weird situations. They make every scene hilarious. They manage to squeeze a joke per line of dialogue. There's not enough praise in the world I could heap onto Grand Blue. It's my consensus number 1. I love it. I'll never not love it. I rewatch it every summer. I'm going to make Mackenzie watch it, and she doesn't even like inappropriate humor. And this is like 60% inappropriate humor. I don't care. I'm going to make her watch it anyway because it's just
You're
that
a bad
good.
husband.
I am. I am a bad husband because of Grand Blue. It's the best endorsement I could possibly give to it. Mason,
Gosh.
why don't you go ahead and tell everyone else what I already know? You're number 1.
My number one, my gold medal, my top of the podium,
Oh,
and
boy.
this podium is higher up than 2 or 3 could ever possibly be. In both top 1 of anime for me, and both
Monster
top 1 of
Musume.
overall manga for me.
Pokemon.
Let's go, Luffy.
You are all horrible people.
So let's go,
It
Luffy.
is One Piece. It is my favorite thing ever, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give a self promotion for them. Next week is going to be the greatest episode in anime history. Just
God
mark
bless
that
you.
down on your calendar next Saturday. Check.
Sorry, I haven't watched the other 1,000 episodes.
You don't have to. You would watch it. You don't gotta.
You have to
But
watch
it-
episode 500.
But it has been king for years. It has been in top 10 since it came out in terms of sales, and there's a reason. Oda is the greatest manga author, or at least top 3 for anyone who's read
Of
One
all
Piece.
time.
He is the greatest. He is the bookmark of Big Brain Boy. Every character is either one of 3 things or all 3 of these things. They have a great design, they have a great story, and or they're insanely likable, or just overall cool. Zoro being the apex of cool. But it is filled with tons of arcs. Every arc, I mean, the lowest arc I think I would give it is one's a 7. The rest are 8 or up. Easily to this very day, and it's sad that I can see the ending kind of on the horizon. Kind of, I'll probably still be 30, but it makes me sad knowing that it's almost over.
They haven't found the One Piece yet?
They have not.
It is the friendship you make.
If it is that, Omar,
I hope.
I'm not one for hyperbole, but if it is that, if they pull a fairy tale on me, I will burn every single volume I have. I will curse Oda to his grave. I will curse him to his very grave if he got my hopes up. If he wrote all A+ fiction just to pull a big old April Fool's joke on me, I will pee on his grave. I will tear down every statue in the day of erected.
I
will riot.
I'll let Grand Blues author know right now that he can end it however he wants to, and I will do very little peeing because I'm a real fan. His grave will be dry.
Until I find it.
Oh, how dare you! I will protect his grave
what
from
do
your
you?
pee. Omar, what do you got at number 1? I'm actually a little curious here. I don't know this one instinctively.
Mean you're curious? What do you mean you're curious?
Oh, unless it's Dragon Ball
surprise
Z.
here. It's Black Clover, baby.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, get in.
It's not. It's just Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Z.
okay.
Are you telling me Asta's not your top 1?
No, he's top 10. But
Okay.
Okay, so never mind. I knew
that.
that. I saw that one coming.
Yeah,
My bad.
but yeah, this is a show I grew up on. You know, I know this is not like anime only, but it's like if you played the games and watched the show, it was like this show is just fun. It just equals fun. You know what I mean? Like the fights, the characters.
It just is anime. It just is.
And I also say, this show from like Dragon Ball Z, I don't think it had like one bad villain or one bad arc. You can be like, oh, maybe this wasn't a masterpiece, but I wouldn't say it's bad. Like the tournaments were fun in Dragon Ball. When they got the King Piccolo, it was fun. The Saiyan Saga's fun. Even the filler with Garlic Jr. was kind of fun. Android Saga.
I don't know, man. King Cool was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, whenever they came back and just like Frieza and King Cold just got wiped, like that was kind of disappointing. But I got what they were doing.
Yeah,
it's just
not much better than at that point.
That like once again shows how Toriyama just became to a point where he can't raise someone else up like Trunks without just completely stomping someone else like King Cool.
Hey, he did it in style, okay.
Okay, yeah. Trunks is cool when he had his lavender hair.
Now what is it? Blue?
It's blue.
That was like the true hair, I think.
I'm pretty sure lavender was the OG, and then the anime figured it up.
Something like that. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's pretty much my top 1. I think everybody knows about Dragon Ball. Like at this point, you know.
Now I know Grizz's instinctively. I know what his one is going to be. So unless this is another obvious one that I'm missing, this might be the last time I'm surprised.
Definitely missing it.
This is gonna piss me off when it is in fact as obvious as you're saying it is. But Christian, what's your number 1?
My number one is Clanad. Obviously, he's
yeah. No, that makes sense. I got you.
What do you think it was going to be? You were like about to have an eater or something.
I literally did not know. Girl. And then he mentions Clanad, a show he mentions daily, and it did in fact make me feel like an idiot. So I had to
It's worthy though. It's easily worthy.
Mm-hmm. The first season, it's like if it was just the first season, I probably wouldn't have it at my top 5 even, honestly. The after story then
this really man craves pain.
Break shit down, man. Break shit down and destroys you inside.
CBC next season during the summer, I'm just going to show you 11 episodes of some anime. And then instead of an episode 12, I'm just going to come to your house and punch you in the balls. All right? And that's the finale.
I don't like physical pain. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say, and this will be your favorite anime of all time, apparently.
And on top of it, like do a little couple of OVAs, and they like show like a different route you could have took, and it's my favorite character too, Kyo. So it's great. I love it.
Okay.
Clanad like perfectly mastered the art of emotional manipulation and just total control to the point where you are scared for yourself. You are scared of what this mere show can do to you.
Made me think, what if this was me in real life, man? What if I got a wife, she's having a kid? Oh, I don't want to get too deep into it, actually.
Unfortunately, without spoiling it, there's really no way of really properly explaining why it feels like such a punch directly to the heart. But it is, in fact.
It hurts.
You went through one whole season of happy-go-lucky slice of life fun, then you go into season 2 and they Kano you.
They played you hook, line, and sinker.
A little Mortal Kombat reference there for our listeners.
They wrote this story knowing.
Kind of sad. They had sad backstories. They would share every so often. It was give a little bit of sad backstories, and then they come back up. It was nice.
By the way, I noticed a pattern in late 2000s and early 2010s animes. If you watched the English dub of Clanad, and I don't know the guy's name, but why did that dude
so bad
play the comic relief sidekick of every single romantic comedy anime from that whole era? Every single one. It's the same dude. He plays the comic relief sidekick. It's a little hilarious.
Sonohara, yeah.
Yeah, he's also the dude from Chunibyo that has to shave his head.
Yeah.
He was also in Kokoro Connect.
Got the same sweet
Greg ears.
He had the same sweet gig as Christopher Sabat has now of playing every single badass.
Which is fair.
That's what he
and
does.
Reasonable. And you know what? Now that CBC has depressed me by reminding me of this show that once destroyed my very mental health, Kelly, you're the main event, the grand conclusion to the episode. I'll drum roll you here.
All right. And I promise I will not disappoint. Are you ready? Are you guys doing a drum roll?
No.
Okay. No. Well, number one is, as everyone could have guessed, it's Asterisk War. I'm just kidding. Of course it's not. It's going to be Code Geass because that show's fucking incredible. It's literally the greatest plot ever put on, for sure, anime. Maybe even most TV. It's engaging. Literally, you're what was said earlier. You're watching Lelouch play with people like their chess or checker pieces. He's playing with this whole world, and they're just everyone's a pawn, and it's really compelling shit. And I think everyone should watch that. I think that they like it. What? How am I wrong?
No. I thought he is so raw.
Oh, they said he's so raw. Damn, he's got hard. What the hell?
He's a real one, that Kelly. He and his Code Geass. Now listen here. I will not stand here idly by, though, and listen to you say that Code Geass is the greatest plot in anime history when Goblin Slayer came out in 2018 for all to see. If you haven't...
No, come on.
I'm kind of tempted to take Aaron's
all
side.
jokes aside, come on.
Goblin Slayer did at least, though, lead to the greatest tweet I've ever seen. When some guy was trying to review Goblin Slayer, taking it too seriously, and talking about every single episode, it's the same thing. It's so monotonous and repetitive. It's goblins attack some village, Goblin Slayer shows up, he kills some goblins, rinse, repeat. Every week, it's just him killing goblins over and over again. And then he's like, whatever. 1 out of 10. Some dude replied to it with, went to the grocery store today, bought myself a can of beans, brought it home, removed the label that said beans, opened the can, dumped it out. Furious. Nothing but beans in here.
This dude, I hope he reviewed One Punch Man too. Every single fight, every single episode, One Punch. I mean, who wants to watch that? Who signed up for this?
I'd watch One Punch Man if it didn't have a plot, just because of that opening. I'd stay for the opening and then go, well, if I have to wait 20 minutes through a whole episode of something just to get to that opening again for the next episode, I'll do it because it's great. It's probably my favorite anime opening of all time. Right there with
It's
Grand
up there.
Blue.
It's up there.
Grand Blue.
Grand Blue's... Oh, now, Kelly has admitted in the past, so he's not going to go back on it now, even if you don't like the show, which you should, because it's a great show, and you're wrong objectively.
No,
if you
that
don't
song
like it.
is a bop. I know where you're going.
That opening
is a
song
fucking
is great.
blast.
So that'll do it for this week. We'll be back next week. We'll be breaking down our top 10 anime movies. And Kelly apparently wants homework. He has asked us to send him our list of movies. Hey, you guys listening, if you've got movies that you think you want Kelly to watch that might make it to his list, reply in either our Twitter comments, you can reply on Spotify or YouTube's comments section. Let Kelly know what movies should he watch before next week. So yeah, next week, the top 10 movies of all time. And as we're heading out, I'll leave you with the Grand Blue opening. See y'all next week.
熱くなれ My friends 太陽と果てに青い空飛び込め全部夏に任せて お前のこと知りたいんだもっと飛び込む勇気があれば本当すぐにでも近づけるだろう、波間にタイミング測りゃばまだ足りない気量は気合で押すタイプでもたびたびたい思いヒリヒリ100件のワードみたいに思い出にしちゃえばいい夏外伝初体験いいぜいいぜいいぜ裸の連中熱中症いいぜいいぜいいぜ持てたハートロケットスタートとコーラスのアクション飛び込め熱くなれ My friends 太陽と果てに青い空飛び込め全部夏に任せて心晴れバレなめしゃべ倒れたって前へ全部夏に任せてもう太陽から逃げないこの夏で変わるんだろうあの水平線まで飛び込め No more cry No more mind Easy come easy go 深く潜れそこは綺麗なサンゴ礁右も左も分からず Enjoy yourself Season of love 汗かいてフル回転いいぜいいぜいいぜ裸で研究青春エンジョイショーいいぜいいぜいいぜピメロスパッドラストスパートとコナツのアクション飛び込め熱くなれ My friends 太陽と果てに青い空飛び込め全部夏に任せて心晴れバレなめしゃべ倒れたって前へ全部夏に任せて Enjoy yourself 思い出にしちゃえばいい夏に任せて広がる海のような可能性くれる夏 こそ俺らのアモーレ晴れ渡る空に誓おうぜ夏をこの手に Oh yeah とろけるほど熱い街にまた夏に心の鍵外し飛び込めスマートの祭りもっと音にがっつり眩しい明日に飛び込めだってもしも君が涙の雨に打たれたってその情熱光に変え熱くなれ My friend 太陽と